Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Insight Podcast. This is your safe place to learn real English for real life, step by step, together. I'm Sarah, and I'm really happy you are here today.
And I'm Daniel, and honestly, it feels good to sit here again and talk with you. Because today, we are not just learning English, we are talking about something that can quietly change your life.
That sounds powerful. So Daniel, what are we exploring today?
Today, we are talking about something most people ignore, but it controls everything: your thoughts. And more importantly, how to discipline your thoughts so your life becomes calmer, clearer, and stronger.
I love that, because many English learners feel stuck, not because they don't know words, but because of what they say inside their mind.
Exactly. Sometimes the voice in your head says, "I can't speak English. I'm too slow. I will make mistakes." And slowly, that voice becomes your reality.
And if you're listening right now, maybe that voice sounds familiar to you. But stay with us, because by the end of this conversation, you will feel more in control. Not perfect, but stronger.
Yes, and we will not teach like a classroom. We will just talk, naturally, like real life.
So, Daniel, let me ask you something simple. What does it mean to discipline your thoughts?
It means you don't believe every thought you hear in your mind, because not every thought is true.
That's interesting. So, just because I think something doesn't mean it's real?
Exactly. For example, imagine you are in a cafe. You want to order in English, but suddenly your mind says, "Don't speak. You will sound stupid." Now tell me, Sarah, is that a fact or just a thought?
It feels real, but maybe it's just a thought.
Yes, just a thought. And here's the problem. Most people don't question it. They just obey it.
Wow. So instead of speaking, they stay silent.
Yes, and every time they stay silent, that thought becomes stronger.
Okay, let's make this real. Imagine I am that learner, sitting in a cafe. I want to say something simple, like, "Can I get a coffee?" But inside, I feel nervous. What should I do in that moment?
First, you pause, just for a second, and you notice the thought. Not fight it, not believe it, just notice it.
Just notice it.
Yes, then you tell yourself, this is just a thought, not the truth. And then, you speak anyway,
Even if my voice shakes?
especially if your voice shakes. Because courage is not being calm first. It is speaking, even when you are not calm.
That feels real. Not perfect, but real. And maybe that's what learners need. Not perfect English, but brave English.
Yes, that's powerful. Brave English. Because every fluent speaker you see today started with broken sentences and a lot of doubt.
You know, I remember once, I said something very wrong in English, and I thought, oh no, this is a disaster.
What happened?
Nothing. The other person just smiled and continued the conversation. And in that moment, I learned something. People don't care about your mistakes as much as you think.
That's true. Most people are not judging you. They are just listening.
So if you're listening right now, maybe today you don't need more grammar. Maybe you just need a quieter mind.
And if this conversation is helping you, even a little, stay with us, keep listening, and maybe share this with someone who also needs a calmer mind.
Daniel, can I ask something deeper? What if someone says, I can't control my thoughts, they just come? what would you say to them?
I would say, you cannot stop thoughts, but you can choose which ones you follow. And that choice changes everything. Because think about it, every action starts with a thought. If you follow a weak thought, you take weak action. If you follow a strong thought, you take strong action.
So, it's not about stopping negative thoughts. It's about choosing better ones.
Exactly. Let's imagine another real moment. You are speaking with someone in English, and suddenly, you forget a word. Your mind says, I'm not good enough. What can you do?
Maybe I can say, give me a second. I'm looking for the word.
That's perfect. You didn't stop. You continued.
Yes, I stayed in the conversation.
And that is the goal. Not perfect English, but continuous English.
I like that. Continuous English feels possible. But Daniel, what about those days when you feel tired, when your energy is low, and your mind is full of doubt?
On those days, you go smaller.
Smaller?
Yes, you don't try to speak perfectly. You don't try to say long sentences. You just say something simple.
Like, I understand. I think so. Can you repeat that?
Exactly. Simple sentences, but powerful actions.
You know, this feels different from normal lessons. It feels more human.
Because it is human. Learning a language is not just about words, it's about emotions, confidence, and mindset.
So if you are listening right now and you feel slow or stuck, please hear this. You are not failing. You are learning.
Yes, and every time you listen, every time you try, every time you stay, you are building something real.
Let's go back to thoughts again. What is one simple sentence that learners can say to themselves when they feel afraid to speak?
I would say, it's okay to be slow. I am improving.
It's okay to be slow. I am improving. That feels kind.
Yes, and your mind needs kindness, not pressure.
So, no more being angry at ourselves?
No more. Because when you fight your mind, you lose energy. But when you guide your mind, you gain control.
Guide your mind. I like that.
Let's imagine one more real situation. You meet someone new, and they ask you a simple question. Where are you from? Your mind goes blank. What can you say?
I can say, I'm from Japan. I live in Tokyo. I'm learning English.
Perfect. Simple, clear, real.
And if I make a mistake?
You continue. Always continue.
So today, we didn't learn difficult grammar, but maybe we learned something more important.
Yes, we learned how to stay, how to continue, and how to think better.
And maybe tomorrow, when you speak English, you will feel a little more calm, a little more brave.
And that is enough. Because big change starts with small thoughts.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this today.
And tell us in the comments, what thought will you change today?
We would love to read your answers.
And remember, you don't need perfect English.
You just need to keep going.
One thought,
One sentence.
one step at a time.